Affordable doesn't have to be synonymous with poor quality. In fact, it shouldn't be. And that's exactly the point that is proven by Cougar Sport. They have taken the 2700 BH right here, which is a very affordable family bunk model fifth wheel, but you still get the Cougar exclusives, right? The Keystone exclusives, the Cougar name. You get the climate guard. You're getting the thermoplastic duct joiners. You're getting color-coded wiring. You're getting the Kia-like system, the HyperCore. So many things that you see on the Cougar line at a much more affordable price. And in fact, for 2026, something that's really, really cool, because they understand that, hey, you know, sometimes you want something that works, that's built well, and doesn't cost a ton of money, but you want to upgrade it a little bit. And for 2026, you can now get this platinum package on any Cougar Sport, including the 2700 right here, which gives it a gorgeous matte paint. You get the blacked out wheels, you get silver reflective windows, and it gives you auto level. A really, really cool package. Again, kind of elevating that Cougar Sport without getting, you know, without blowing the budget, without getting into a super expensive high-end coach. All right, enough of that. Let's get inside. Let's talk about the floor plan here on the 2700. Is it going to work for you? Well, let's take a look. It is a good floor plan. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The thing I really like about this one is that again, they don't really overdo anything, and you just get a ton of space. I mean, you have a slide out here, but the kitchen's on this side. They don't have anything in the middle. This is just all nice and open, which is great, you know, because if you're spending time with the kiddos, sometimes you need some space to be able to move around, get by each other. You don't want to feel closed in and claustrophobic. And in the back here, you have 3 double bunks. So if your kids are small enough, I mean, these are 300-pound weight capacity, right? Like, you can fit 2 kiddos per bunk here. I mean, you can theoretically have 6 kids here in the back. Plus, you still have the dinette and the sofa to be able to sleep a few more. Now, yes, someone is going to have to sleep on the floor, but listen, if you have young kids, they're going to want to sleep on the floor. Kids love it. Like, I don't know, little ones are like, yes, what an opportunity. It's like top bunk and floor are like the 2 best options. So trust me, that won't be a problem for most kiddos. But the thing I do like about this as well is that you not only have storage, which I'll open it up just to kind of show you here. So you have some storage there. You also have a hanging rod, so you can actually hang clothes, which is something that shockingly is very rare in bunk rooms, but you do have it here. And then, of course, you have USB ports, electrical outlets, so if the kids do need to play electronics on like a rainy day, they can plug that in. But here's the thing, out of all of this in the bunk room, one of my favorite parts is something so subtle, and it's this right here, the fact that there is a door. I love my children just as much as the next person, but I also want to stay up later than they do because I want to hang out with friends. And so I can shut the door, and now my wife and I can have friends over from the campground, and you know, we can have 4 people sit around the U-shaped dinette, play a game, put a puzzle together maybe, or just chill and hang out and have a few beverages. I mean, it's an open floor plan. We can have people standing around too, but we also have a love seats. We have a couple more seats. I mean, we can, you know, easily sit 6 people in here, no problem. Plus, we can have additional guests stay the night if need be, because this right here, this love seat folds out and you can sleep an additional, easily 1, possibly 2 if they're, you know, okay to snuggle up. And this U-shaped dinette drops down here too, so you can sleep 2 more people. So again, you know, you just have a spot for guests not only to sit, but also to stay the night. Let's take a look at the kitchen though, because I think they did a bang up job on the kitchen. And bang up, that's a good thing. I'm saying that as a good thing. I think they did a good job on the kitchen. You have thermoformed countertops here going all the way around. I like that it's white, especially when you have these dark bottom cabinets. I think that you need a lighter countertop, and they did a good job by having dark in kind of down low and then going lighter up top with the uppers. But you get good countertop space right over here to the side. Now, I know you're not going to want to prep food there, but if you want to leave snacks out or something, a charcuterie board, that's a great spot for it. But you do get prep space right here next to the 3-burner recessed cooktop. And of course, if you're not using this, you can use it as prep space too. Otherwise, that just folds up and back. You got the 3 burners with the oven down below. I also like these stainless steel. They kind of have the gunmetal. I've seen a lot of manufacturers use this, and I really like the color. You also have the 2-tone high-rise pull-out faucet there. Underneath, I also want to point out, not only do we have a drying rack and our sink top cover, but more importantly, look at all that beautiful space. There's so much room there for a trash can, which makes me happy, happy, happy. And then we take a look at the drawers. We have good drawer space here, magnetic catches there as well. You have a backsplash behind the sink. I do question why there's not one behind the cooktop where I probably need it a little more, but hey, we do have it there and it does look nice. Electrical outlet there as well. Going up top real quick, I'll open up a cabinet or two just to kind of show you the storage. Decent storage up here. Microwave over to this side, and then our TV, which this TV is going to be directly across from our U-shaped dinette. So this is probably the best seat in the house to watch the TV. I believe it's a 40-inch, 40-inch TV. So it is plenty big for the space. I don't think I'd want anything too much bigger. You also see right here is your multimedia center, so you can connect to that via Bluetooth, be able to play some music in here. We have a few speakers, one right up here, another one right there. And then of course we have them outside as well. A giant mirror so I can see myself. More than anything, I just don't think they knew what to put there, and it just kind of helps make the space look bigger if you're looking in that direction. But as I mentioned, love seat right down below, and of course, we have the storage up top. The other thing I talked about the thing I like about the Cougar Sport is that it has a lot of the quality items that a Cougar has, and part of that is going to be in the HVAC system. So a lot of people don't know this about the RV industry, but when it comes to your air conditioning ducts, they're essentially going to be like almost like a reflective cardboard material is kind of what it reminds me of. That's like what the ductwork is made out of, and it's going to be rectangles. And what they do is they will put, when they run that in the ceiling, most manufacturers just put those two butt ends together, they tape around it, and that is how your ductwork is connected. The problem with that is as you're moving, it's tape, so those seals may come undone, and then you may have an air leak up in your roof somewhere, which not only does that mean that you're not getting as much cool air, which is the most important part to most of us, but also the fact that it's just blowing cold air into your attic, and now you're going to have temperature changes in the attic, additional moisture, things you don't want. So one of the things I really, really like about Cougar Sport is even though it's a more affordable RV than, say, your Cougar, they still utilize the same couplers that Cougar uses, so that way your ductwork stays together and it's not going to crush, it's not going to come apart as easy because they wrap the tape around that. Again, it is just a better system. As we come up the steps, see a few things here. We have our control panel there, tank monitoring panel, as well as a thermostat. We also get a built-in handrail. Big fan of that just because, I don't know, especially if you're using it at night, you don't want to fall down the stairs. Coming into the bathroom, we can see the vanity, good storage underneath, mirrored medicine cabinet right up top. Then over to this side is going to be a toilet. That is a porcelain bowl, as one would hope. You also see right up above is your towel bar and then the shower. It is a one-piece surround, but you do have a separate shower pan. Now, as always, when we talk about the bathroom, we always have to talk about sizes. So let's take a look as I sit on the toilet. Yeah, I have a ton of legroom here. That's not a problem at all. Shoulder space. Yeah, I have good space. I'm not, I have a little bit of room here till the door. I can sit here. I can be here all day. And then when I'm done doing my business, you'll also see that I have a little fart fan up top. Wouldn't have minded that being a little bit bigger, but, again, that's part of the reason that this coach is a little more affordable, right? It's some of the smaller things like that that you may not get, but it's still okay because they pay attention and give you some of the big things like a tankless water heater, on-demand tankless water heater, so that way you can spend more time in the shower if need be. And look at the shower height here. With that skylight, I can be, 6'4", maybe 6'3". Even without it, I can still stand fully up and still have an extra inch or two there. You also get the upgraded Oxygenics shower head, which helps, to my knowledge, helps pull in some air just to make it feel like there's more pressure without using more water. So that way, if you are boondocking, it just doesn't take up as much water. Coming into the bedroom, we'll see the queen bed. It is going to be a north-south bed rather than like an east to west and a slide out. And you can see you have great nightstands on both sides, including a little elevated shelf there with an electrical outlet and USB ports. And you probably can't see it from this far, but those electrical outlets, you'll see a little yellow sticker, and that says it is prepped for an inverter. So if you want, you can get an inverter in this coach, and basically almost all of your outlets in here are pre-wired for it, so that way you can use it just off your battery. Another option, if you want, is this right up here, and that is the fact that this is prepped for a second AC if you want it to be a little bit cooler. Now underneath the bed, just want to show you the storage there. You can see again, pretty good storage space. Over to the, let me drop that down here, over to the side, or rather the foot of the bed. This is where your TV is going to be mounted if you want a TV, and then you have a wardrobe here with some additional drawer space down below. The other thing I do want to mention is there is a little step up in the front. So when you go kind of to get into bed and step up, I do just want to show that at 6 foot tall, because this is a mid profile, yes, my head does hit right here. So just know that to get in and out of bed, you kind of want to sit like this, right? You're going to kind of sit and then move forward this way to get in and out of bed. Not a big deal, just something that I did want to point out. Let's make our way to the outside real quick. I just want to kind of hit on some of the outside features. First one being, well, the steps I'm walking on. So these are going to be the new Suburban steps. You have a composite material, so that way you don't have to worry about any kind of rust. And they actually have, in my opinion, the best leg system in the industry. This is going to be more of a ratchet style, so you don't have to worry about putting pins in and out. There's just so many little adjustments that it just gives you a lot of control over where the steps are. So definitely the best adjustments for the legs in the industry, in my opinion. And again, we kind of saw the outside with the graphics here, but as I mentioned earlier, in case you missed it, for 2026, you can upgrade to the Platinum package, so it would look like this instead, and you get this gorgeous matte. It's almost like a cobalt blue, like a gray blue exterior full body paint on there, and I love this. This is probably one of my favorite paints I have seen on a coach yet. It looks even better in person than it does on camera. Right up front, you'll notice the Road Armor Kingpin, so that is going to rotate, help a little bit with the bucking and chucking, which is kind of that sensation when your tow vehicle starts and stops. You also get the painted front cap with some LED lights on there. Dropping down underneath, a couple things here. One is going to be the fact this one has a little spot to hook up a four-legged friend if you like to bring one along with you. And then when we drop down, spare tire is going to be tucked away here. Something that Keystone, I want to mention, does very, very well in general is just wire management. I mean, overall, right? Like everything is going to be wrapped, everything is run, everything is tied. Like they just do a fantastic job. I really appreciate that. You will see the 30 amp solar charge controller. This one has the Solar Flex 220 on there for 220 watts of solar. You also get a separate disconnect for solar. That is something that a lot of manufacturers don't have. So you have a battery disconnect here for the coach as well as the solar. That way you can shut that off if need be, which again is a nice feature that I just haven't seen a lot of manufacturers put on there. Coming around to the side, you have a 30-pound propane tank there, another one on the other side. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. Oh, look at that. Man, I'm good. All right, slam latch baggage doors, magnetic catches on here. And then as we take a look, just kind of want to show you the garage storage. You have an LED light going all the way across. There is an access panel on that other side to be able to get into the water pump, which I like. Anything that makes troubleshooting easier is always a win. You see the light here to be able to turn on your, or switch, turn on your lights, USB ports, as well as TV hookups. Taking a step back here, a few other things. You'll see the grab handle, just to give you a little bit of extra control. Large power awning. Those two outside speakers we talked about when we were inside. And again, like I said, you have a separate zone. Then right up top, you can see that's a 220 watt solar panel. Another thing, this is something that is oftentimes overlooked, but again, because this is a Cougar, even though it's going to be affordable, you're still getting great peace of mind when it comes to towing. Not only do you have some roadside coverage, but you also get the anti-lock brake system from Lippert. And that's one of those things that so many of us don't think about. But if you have to make a sudden stop, that analog brake system is fantastic. If you've never seen it before, never looked it up, or you haven't seen any videos, I do recommend looking it up on Lippert's website. It is pretty cool to see those tests. I was fortunate enough to be able to go out to the track and see it happen, but it is really cool. This right here is going to be the bottom bunk. I don't know if you can see in there, but I like this too, because if, you know, this pad obviously just comes up. So if you don't need that bottom bunk, that essentially is going to be a great additional storage. Or you can load it up when you're traveling, and then when you get there, take that bunk and put it in, you know, empty that out. That again is just good use of space in my mind. kind of along the back, a few other quick things I want to hit on. You have backup camera prep, you have ladder prep, you have your 50 amp detachable power cord again, because this one is prepped for a second AC. And right down here, you are going to have a hitch. Yes, this is capable of towing up to 3,000 pounds, comes with your 4-pin connector on there. So if your state allows and you have a boat or another trailer or something like that, you want to tow behind you, this one has the capability to do it. So again, this is a 2700 BH, new for 2026 with that optional beautiful platinum paint package. Let me know what you think. Do you like this one? Is there something you would change? If you're interested and you want price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see you.